Hello YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude. What's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning back into this tropical cyclone presentation for July 8th, 2019. I just seem to get even more cheery every single video. As always, please consider subscribing and also ringing the bell notifications. Never miss one of my videos again. And as always, please look in the description for other videos of mine with superior weather content that you won't find anywhere else. I am the weatherman that you can trust. Superior weather is on this channel. And as always, as your way of donating, quote unquote, please consider watching the whole video. So, we're going to be talking about Tropical Storm Barry. It is not officially named, although the National Hurricane Center gives it an 80% chance of formation within the next 5 days. And the formation within 2 days is now up to 30%. So, upper air is weak. It's going to support development. That's good. It's located over central Georgia, maybe like eastern Georgia. And it's going to move south and southwestward towards the northeastern Gulf. And a broad area of low pressure will form on Wednesday, maybe even late Tuesday night. Conditions will be very conducive for development. I mean, everything's just coming together. And this area of spin should be in the Gulf either late Tuesday night or into Wednesday. So let's look at the European model just to see where everything is here. This was from 8 a.m. this morning. Here's the area of spin that we were talking about. Cyclonic vorticities. And I will say, if you're in Alabama and Florida, well, not Florida, but Alabama, I think you're kind of starting to luck out as well as Mississippi. Don't ever let your guard down now. I'm just saying this storm might be getting shifted farther to the west towards Texas and Louisiana, but the whole Gulf Coast will be pretty much affected by the system. So let's chart the system out. I mean, immediately, Tuesday morning, the storm, look at this, according to the Euro model, might be entering the Gulf. So that's why I think maybe Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday night, it will probably be in the Gulf of Mexico. And sea surface temperatures in the eastern Gulf and even the northern Gulf Coast are very close to 90 degrees. So that's why I think this storm could potentially rapidly intensify or just intensify quickly. But you can see as it first enters the Gulf, it starts to strengthen already. We see a little bit of orange on the map already. But watch this. Once it starts to move right out of that area of 90, look at that. The almost 90 degrees sea surface temperature really helped for that storm to get together. And it's also looking like it's diving kind of far south, which would mean a stronger storm because it's diving into ocean water more. The longer it stays over the ocean, or the longer it stays over the Gulf, the more strong it will become. And this could be a very strong storm. I mean, this is Saturday morning. Look at this. I mean, this is a very deep storm. It looks very organized. Let me show you the landfall spot. There it is, right there, eastern Texas. Then it kind of pivots back towards the west, OKC. This is now Tuesday morning, next Tuesday morning, not tomorrow, but the next Tuesday. And then it kind of goes toward eastern Kansas, and this is where I think it might hook up with a front here. Watch as it is to eastern Kansas, right? But look at this, it actually might strengthen as it heads into northern Missouri, and then it's going to pretty much go due east, track across the nation. Eventually, I'm sure it'll reach the northeastern mid-Atlantic, just not be nearly as strong as it was when it was down here. And I think it might hook up with the front. That energy, along with the storm system along the front, will help to fuel that storm. Non-tropically, it won't like tropically develop over land, but it will strengthen the storm system non-tropically, if that makes sense. So, there's the low. Maybe getting into a tropical storm by Thursday morning, but I think like late Thursday morning. Maybe Thursday night it'll probably be a tropical storm. And look at this. This is kind of like this is the winds at 5,000 feet, I guess, but you can kind of call this your wind gust map. And look at this. It's a hurricane right here. I mean, we're seeing a weak category 1, potentially. And boom, there it is. Some purples indicating cat 1. And then right there. So it moves to eastern Missouri, kind of strengthens a little bit. So we'll see. But Texas, Louisiana, your time to prepare is now. The storm is only 5 to 7 days away. Just your time to prepare is now. Prepare while you still can. Is what I'm saying here. Excuse me. So let's look at the GFS model. So here it is. This is at 8 p.m. tonight. There's a storm over eastern Georgia. I guess you can say the GFS almost looks more resolutionized, high resolution. But they're saying more of a to the north, maybe slightly more of a coast hugger. It won't be a coast hugger, but I'm saying slightly closer to the coast, slightly more of a coast hugger than the Euro has it. And I don't think it's going to be as quite of a strong of a storm. but maybe eastern, a little bit farther to the west than the Euro is. So maybe eastern Texas might get affected by this one. Galveston, Houston, even western Louisiana. And just it's gonna be very strong, potentially strong tropical storm, maybe even a weak Category 1 hurricane. We'll just have to see how it all plays out. But yeah, so GFS is calling for like a tropical storm, barely, if that. I mean, it barely even looks like a tropical storm. Here's the new GFS legacy model. I recommend that you watch my video where it's called A New Weather Model Has Been Released to find out more about this GFS legacy weather model that was just been released. And look at this. Not really that strong, although there it is. Whoa. Whoa. Rapid intensification just to the southwest of New Orleans. It just sizes, not doesn't size up, but it just strengthens like tremendously right as it heads on shore. Some deep dark reds. And then the remnants are get carried towards the mid-Atlantic. Delaware, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, Jersey, all that. GFS legacy model is calling for winds of about, let's see, so about tropical storm, and then it moves on land. Yeah, so probably like a tropical storm in it. Whoa, there it is. Maybe a small hurricane, but I think like a small Cat 1, but maybe like a strong tropical storm potentially as well. CMC model, here we go. Gem model, here we go. Starting to see some development already, looking like overnight Thursday. And then there it is. Even the two GFS Legacy and the CMC were having a landfall over here, so even they are starting to go a little bit towards the west now. But the GFS Legacy and the CMC are making the landfall in the original spot that the Euro and the GFS had it. The Euro and the GFS are like over here, and the GFS Legacy and the CMC are over here. So Euro GFS over here, and then CMC and GFS Legacy over there. So looking like a very strong storm. Please, like I said before, the time to prepare is now. Okay? Weak Category 1 hurricane, potentially according to the GEM model, and then the remnants could carry us towards the mid-Atlantic. But even the mid-Atlantic might see some tropical storm-forced wind gusts, potentially. As you can see here, some green starting to show up. But it's just going to be, this area, the northern Gulf Coast is so prone to storm surge. I mean, even from here, sorry, that was my watch, it's 4 o'clock. But even here, you can see this little bay that goes right through Mobile, Alabama. Maybe 12-foot waves potentially there. And that's actually what I'm going to show you right now, windy.com. You can see we're already starting to see some 4-foot waves on the northeastern Gulf of Mexico. So the storm is already producing waves. And let's go now. Again, Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, the storm works its way into the Gulf. Now let's just try this out. Wednesday. And then you start to see it come together. In the eastern Gulf of Mexico. There it is. It took a little while, but the waves are here, over 10 feet. But the 10 feet, that's just a gauge. The waves can be easily just larger than that, like 15 feet. And here it is, 13 feet. This is my 8 p.m. on Friday now. We're going like over 16, 17 feet. Early Saturday morning. Now we're gonna go above 20 feet waves, 20-foot waves, and the waves are just gonna be destructive. This won't bring back memories of Harvey, although I think it will dump a lot of rain. But this won't bring back any Harvey memories, let's hope. And then this Sunday, the storm makes landfall, the waves start to disappear. Now let's go to the Wave Watch 3 model. That was the ECM, the Euro WAM model. I don't know what WAM stands for. Maybe you guys can tell me, but it's just WAM model. And heading early or Wednesday night, not much wave, some wave action in the northeastern Gulf. It's gonna take a little bit, but there it is. Thursday at midnight, 8-foot waves already. It starts on the Friday 3 p.m. Saturday at midnight. So Wave Watch 3 is not having as strong of a storm. And then the waves may be building slightly as it heads on shore, but then that's it. And let me drag my drawing tool over here. Let's just go over the ocean temperature, shall we? I hate to, but it's warm. Warm. 88. Even I wouldn't be surprised if some airs are like 89, 90. Right there. In the Gulf. So very warm. It's not going to take much to strengthen the storm. As I will show you coming up, we will also have lower wind shear as well as low dry air. All the way through at least mid to upper 80s. For ocean temperatures at least. So here it is, Invest 92L. Maximum winds are about 20 miles an hour with wind gusts of 25 or 30 miles an hour as of right now. Satellite loop looks kind of impressive, but not too organized. But believe me, it will be very organized. You just gotta give it a little bit of time. Central pressure is not that bad. 1011 is not that bad. I mean, it's weak, but it's not that bad. Radius of circulation 150 nautical miles out, and the maximum wind goes about 80 nautical miles out from the center of the storm. Okay, and let's go to the sea surface temperature anomalies again. The whole entire Gulf of Mexico is just above average. Particularly the northeastern Gulf is really above average, as well as the southwestern Gulf and the Bay of Campeche. And also up by the East Coast, although the storm's not headed for there, but East Coast, even the Caribbean used to be colder than average. Now it's warming up, so the whole Atlantic's warming up. June was the third warmest on record since 1991 or 1981, I do believe, for the Western Atlantic, second warmest in Gulf of Mexico's history since 1991 or 81. So since like modern satellite data, basically. So you can see the little thunderstorm complexes. You can't tell because it's just a little area of spin. But look at this. No dry air to talk about whatsoever. Now, we're starting to see more convective activity out towards Africa, but we're starting to see some of the dry air in this area here start to dissipate. But dry air is easing off. I think by the end of July and August, we just had this huge area of convective activity. Maybe it'll get eaten up by the dry air, I'm not sure. But it's getting better. I think by the end of July and August, so conditions will be favorable out there. Here's the ocean temperatures. Now keep in mind, wake up tomorrow morning if you wake up around 6 or 7, you'll get the sea surface temperature maps from 0Z, which basically means 8 p.m. this evening. But this was taken from 8 o'clock a.m. this morning. The 18Z ocean temperatures come out at 9 p.m. tonight. I don't know why they're so spread apart. But keep in mind, these ocean temperatures are taken from 8 o'clock this morning. They don't change that much in a day. But look at this. 31 degrees Celsius across the whole northern Gulf Coast, northeastern Gulf of Mexico. But really, the entire Gulf of Mexico pretty much is 30 degrees Celsius. So this storm has a chance to rapidly intensify. Not even a touch of dry air. It's to stand in its way. And wind shear is fairly small. There are some pockets of green, as I will show you right now, closer to Texas, where it's been increasing slightly over the last 24 hours. But blue and green is okay to have. Blue is your great spot. That's your blue and black is like no wind shear. But green is okay. That's like 15 to 25 knots of wind shear. We can handle that. That's only like 20 to 30 miles an hour. So that's not that bad. But to the Gulf of Mexico, not much wind shear. And let's look at the storm tracks. So you can see, I mean, just ignore the outlying models. But you can see this pink one here just curling up towards the mid-Atlantic, possibly. That's a possibility. Anything is a possibility right now, except for Tabs, because Tabs has its going north and east without even entering the Gulf. That's not even right. Tabs and TBM, and TABD or whatever, those are usually kind of like the outlying models. But look at this. Just in general, I can just draw like a little cone from this. This is not the NHC forecast cone, but you can see like a little cone where this might go. You see some of the models have it going a little bit farther south. Actually, a lot of models have it doing that. And some have it being a coast hugger. I can't make fun of any models, actually, because it's just kind of early at this point. We still got a couple days till it enters the Gulf. At least a few days, maybe even a week until it makes landfall. The landfall date just keeps getting pushed back. Although the date is not exact. Oceanic heat content, yellows, reds, just absolutely... The ocean heat only keeps growing in the Gulf of Mexico as the storm approaches. It's like... excuse me. As soon as we start talking about this storm, or even a little bit before that, all of a sudden the Gulf of Mexico just started heating up. The dry air started going away. The wind shear started decreasing. So everything was starting to come together as soon as this storm formed. And the storm is sitting right now over central Georgia. Usually tropical systems will not come from there. Usually they will not dive into the Gulf of Mexico from land. But it can happen. It's a phenomenon, I guess you can call it. But it's not. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just not common. Here it is now, 10-11 millibars of pressure. It'll track it as soon as it enters the Gulf, 10-11. But then it'll start strengthening as it makes it out of that 90-degree ocean water. Oh, almost 90, I should say, around 88. And then so it's just either way after the landfall. So there's no certain landfall spot, okay? The Euro and the GFS and the CMC, the GEM model, and the GFS legacy just keep changing where it all goes, okay? One thing's for certain, though, it will enter the, what's almost for certain, is that it will enter the Eastern Gulf, probably goes like adjacent south of New Orleans, but after like south of New Orleans, like after this spot, this big black dot here. After that, it's just everywhere. Some models have it entering Mexico, some curled up all the way through Ohio and Pennsylvania. It's just a mess. But I promise you that I will keep you updated on this, and the models will change, the models will get readjusted. The GFS, you should have saw the GFS before. It was so sloppy. I mean, like, it didn't even know what to do with the storm. I'm actually be able to show it to you what the GFS used to think. So let's go to let's use an example. Let's do 12Z July 6th, because I'm sure that was a pretty messy one. So, and then look, they just have it just diving down and then just being strung out in to the Gulf and the Atlantic. So it was just all strung out before. So the GFS was really screwed up at first. Tropical Intensity Index. Look at all these reds. The whole Gulf of Mexico is covered in red. Highly favorable conditions for development. I mean, the southwestern, the Bay Campeche is not as favorable, but the whole Gulf of Mexico is highly favorable for development. Conditions are conducive and highly conducive for development. Here's the intensity guidance. I mean, these are not every single model of existence. These are not all the models that we should, for example, like right here. But a lot of the models, if not pretty much all of them, at some point have it making the tropical storm status. So that's almost certain. I can't guarantee it. But I do think, my opinion, is that it'll be like a strong tropical storm, maybe like a very, very weak Category 1 hurricane. But Category 1 seems a little bit in question at this point. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please drop a like down below. Also subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to ring the bell notifications. Share this with your friends. I am the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time, catch you guys in the next video.